But what happened with Donald Trump in his first term is that he froze out Iran. And I was with him just about 5 or 6 days before he left office. And we were talking, and he closed his eyes. He said, I have Iran right here. It's right here. Iran was broke, and it was ready to make a deal with Israel and all the rest. But instead, we elected a president who immediately came in, took off the sanctions. I repeat, he didn't take off the sanctions. He didn't enforce the sanctions. So he could say one thing and never do anything on the other. Allow all the oil and money to flow into Iran. As soon as they got it, then Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis, all the things that happened in Israel, all a result of having a feckless president at the time. And of course, we see what happened in Ukraine. Now, what Donald Trump, who is a man and a leader and not just a penny waste, he is now getting the nations of the world to no longer buy the oil and gas from Russia. He's going to freeze them economically. Then he's freezing them politically. You notice that Putin didn't come to the opening of the United Nations. He can't go any place because he's under indictment. So he's freezing him politically, and then militarily. We're now finally. And the thing about the Biden administration, they would always hold some big press conference of how they were doing this to help the Ukrainians, going to do this. And it was absolutely, if I may frankly say so, it was a lie, because they didn't do it. They promised it, and they said they would, but then anything that finally got there a year and a half later after they promised it, they said you can't use it. So it was the reason this war drug out was because of the weakness that was there, and it wasn't because of the Ukrainian military. Let me point out, it was the Ukrainian citizen. It was the freedom-loving Ukrainian that absolutely, many people at the very top, they fear an arrangement was made. They were going to hand over the government to the Russians, but the Ukrainian people said no. And when they came rolling in thinking it was going to be a piece of cake, they'd had it lectured to them that in 72 hours Yanukovych, who had been the previous president, had already arrived. He was there a week before the invasion. He was ready to take power. This thing was all cooked, ready to go. But they didn't count on the freedom-loving commitment of a Ukrainian individual citizen. And brother, they've been fighting, and they took down the entire Russian military to the point that because Trump knows how to get under people's skin, he called supposedly the second most powerful military on the world, he called it a paper tiger.